Whirlybird Video Productions. Giving you a little heads up of what's coming up next on Whirlybird. We're going to be working on putting this FMS P-51B. This is in the Dallas Darling color scheme. So it's got the blue nose and the Dallas Darling little pin-up on the side. It's a very pretty airplane. I got it out of the box. It looks awesome. I actually got a chance to look at the FMS products down at Joe Nall this year from Diamond Hobby, I think it was. I had quite a few of them down there. Hope I got that name right. I didn't get a chance to see them fly while I was down there. There was so much going on. Spent most of my time up at the helicopter flight line, so I didn't get to see any of the FMS stuff fly. So I've been wanting to get one of them for a pretty good while now that I've been kind of looking around, and of course I'm familiar with the brand, and I know this is the version 7. So I know in the first couple releases they had issues with the props and the landing gear, and supposedly all that's fixed now. And I actually went out to flying this past weekend down in Winchester, Kentucky, and one of the guys down there had a FMS 1400 millimeter Focke-Wulf FW190. And it was a pretty neat looking airplane. It flew really well. The retracts held up pretty well. Now his was the version 6, so it had plastic landing gear, and he had actually epoxied those working struts together, and they were holding up pretty well. So with the version 7, that's supposedly even better. They have metal retracts now. So from looking at it, looking out of the box, it looks really, really good. I'm not going to do an unboxing on it. I mean, there's plenty of unboxing reviews out there. A lot of good guys have already done it. What I want to do is put it together, give you a good, non-biased, how does it fly, how does everything work, and then tell you if I had any issues putting it together. I purchased this plane from motionrc.com, 100% brought to you by my MasterCard on this review, so it's very unbiased, so I'm going to tell you what I think about it, or whether it's good or bad. I'm familiar with Blitz RC Works, and from a company out there that I dealt with that has the worst absolute customer service in the world. I bought one plane from them, had a problem out of the box. It was a very easy to fix problem, and never could get a hold of them. It was just something in the manual was incorrect, and I had a question. So there wasn't even anything really wrong with the aircraft, but I just couldn't get a hold of them. After 2 or 3 weeks trying to get a hold with them, called them multiple times during the day, emails, that kind of thing, they didn't want to respond to my calls at all. And finally it took me calling my credit card company and canceling the payment, and then they called. So I don't want to deal with folks like that, so that's why I went with Motion RC. The folks at Motion RC I've heard a lot of good things about. They stand behind their products, they have good customer service, so check them out. Again, that's motionrc.com. Another thing I just wanted to say, a big shout out to Flight Test. Thank you very much, guys, for giving me the shout out on your channel. The Flight Test guys are great. We hung out with them down at Joe Nall for a couple days. Had a lot of good time, and of course they came up and joined us for dinner one night, and we've seen that part on the video. A really good bunch of guys, really passionate about explaining and getting new people into RC. So that's great for the hobby. The more people we bring into it, the more competitive it's going to be. As far as when we go out to buy a product, we can get stuff like this inexpensive if there's a whole bunch of people buying. So at any rate, what we want though is good quality for a good price, and I don't care if I have to pay a little bit more to get the quality, but I definitely want something that I put together not going to have problems with. So we're going to put it together, get it out and do the flight review, and it'll be right in the end of this video. So I'm going to put it together tonight, and I'm actually going out this weekend with the magic of video editing. You'll see it right after I get through talking.
Completely clear. Nobody makes it kind of, when that boat's good, when it waits, I'm not.
Can you talk to me? We'll probably get pretty close because we don't have a mic. Ready? Hey folks, Bill Whirlybird Videos. So this is the flight footage, and you've seen the P-51B just now. This is the P-51D. It's my friend Chester's here. He wanted to try the FMS too, so we're kind of doing a dual review so we could try a couple of different airplanes. So let's see how it does. I bet he I had my finger right there. Well, yours looks fast.
Well, I seen it. I tried to.
It takes off. If you take off nice and slow, it does good. It takes a lot of right rudder. Real scale.
When you're ready to land, Chester, come by like that again when you put the gear down.
Your batteries will last a long, long time.
Oh, see, you ain't got no bad.
I hate it.
That's beautiful. Did you see that?
Full flaps, a little bit of power.
That's perfect. Now, we won't show a mile on it, we'll show here.
That is a beautiful airplane, dude. Just needs a sound system.
Mm-hmm. Hey folks, I hope you liked that flight footage of the FMS P-51B and the P-51D. The P-51B, I flew absolutely great. It's kind of weird to see a P-51 go by and it just simply goes, whoo, there's no sound. So yeah, I really need a sound system on there. But no, it flew really well. It seemed to have pretty good speed. It had a lot of power. I'm going to take my drop tanks off and fly it again. I only got one flight out of it. As you've seen on the end there, I managed to bounce that landing, so I think I let off the throttle just a little bit too soon. Looked like it's going to be a great landing, and then I kind of bounced a little bit, hit a little bit sideways, and caused that spring to compress and throw me up even more, so the second bounce broke my prop. So I've ordered a couple more props. I think that's going to be something you're going to need on hand, so if you're going to order one, go ahead and get you a couple props. I think I'm going to get, I actually ordered two, so I'm going to get those two, then hopefully see if I can nail these landings a little better and go from there. You've seen the P-51D fly, my friend Chester had down there. It flew good too. He didn't have any trim inputs or anything like that. Mine didn't either. Had a little bit of roll in it, but I think I just had a deflection off a little. So after I sat down and landed, I seen the ailerons were level, so had something a little bit weird causing me to roll that I had to trim out, but it was no big deal. So I told you folks I'd let you know if I had any trouble putting it together, and I had two issues. One issue was actually just a building issue. The other issue was setting up the ESC. So the building issue, the one thing that I did have the trouble with was actually getting the wing hole bolts to align, and I've seen some other people say they had the same problem. So what I did is I took the wing back off. The manual shows you to put the wing in and then put these two little plastic braces that go in over the screw holes on top of the wing, which is actually the bottom of the wing. And they were apart a little bit. The wings were actually pulled apart just a little, and that made those plastic braces hard to put in. Now they went in, but remember it's foam, so what happened is the foam gave in and allowed that plastic to push in. Well, what that did is allowed one of the wings to actually screw hole to be off a little bit. So what it is, I took it back off completely, compressed the wings together as best I could without crushing the foam, and then I went ahead and put my plastic braces on. And when I put those plastic braces on, that kept it from sliding apart. I was able to put it on, and I held the wing up just a little bit and got both screw holes started, or screws started in the holes, I'm sorry. And once I got them started, I went ahead and laid it down, held them tight together so I could again, and went ahead and tightened them down, and it was fine. And then the other issue was the ESC. A lot of people have problems with the ESC. Well, it's an ESC calibration issue. It's not really a problem, it's just you have to calibrate your throttle. So the manual is actually in that little plastic bag that you guys get. It's got your manual in there. to build the airplane. It's got a catalog in there with all the FMS products, and then it also has a manual for the SC. Make sure you go ahead and get that out and have that ready for when it's time to set up. So if you're on JR and Spectrum that I know of, your channels are correct. If you're on Futaba, they're backwards. High Tech, I'm not for sure about, but I'll find out and I'll put a post down there. Actually, my friend Chester that was flying his P-51D was flying on High Tech, and I meant to ask him and I forgot, or I may even ask him and just forgot what he told me. It's very possible, getting old. So at any rate, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's a really great airplane. The version 7 seems like they've spent a lot of time and effort to fix a lot of the issues that the earlier aircraft had. Of course, there's the price difference. It's a lot more. I mean, when these first came out, they were around $170. Now they're $270. But that includes shipping too. So you got to think that free shipping really isn't free. You're paying a lot for that because this is a big box. I actually have the box right here. And you can see it's almost in frame sitting right there. So this is going to be a UPS oversized 1 box. So that means if you send this UPS or FedEx or any of those guys, they're going to consider this box to be oversized no matter how much it really weighs. You know, it weighs 4 or 5 pounds. They don't care. The actual space it's going to take up in their trucks, in their airplanes, to haul it to where you're at, this is considered an oversized box because of the length and girth. They actually have a little chain. I don't know if you ever guys seen them do it, but they have a little beaded chain deal that they'll wrap around the box this way and the other way, and if it won't complete a certain knot that they've got marked, it's an oversized 1. It can go up to an oversized 2. So if you go to an oversized 1, guess what? UPS is going to hit you a big charge. No matter what, you know, somebody has to pay shipping for this, and guess what? It's you and me. So, you know, you're going to see the price increase. One, a lot of people are offering this free shipping now. You know, so the shipping is built into the price of the product, which is okay. Just that's one reason why. So if you see these somewhere else for $199, you're most likely you're going to pay shipping. You're going to pay probably $50 or $60 or $70 for shipping, which is going to bring you up to $260, $270. So at any rate, our UPS shipping lesson for today. So if you see in the background, it's a little hint I was giving you in the background. There's something I'm working on that's got a big German symbol on it. It's a ME109. It's a KMP ME109 that I've had for 2 or 3 years that I bought at a swap meet. It'd been sitting in a box, got it out, and said, well, you know, I want to get it ready for the Somerset Model Airplane Club Whirlybird event. Well, that was this past weekend that you got to see the flight footage from P-51B. It's not done. You can see it's still on the bench. When I got it out of the box, it had a few things missing. It had no push rods, so I had to order push rods. I ordered some good carbon fiber push rods. It also didn't have the retracts. The retracts were supposed to be in the box, and they weren't in the box. So, you know, that's my fault. I bought it at a swap meet, and I didn't check in the box to make sure everything was there. The guy said everything was there. And no doubt, if I would have immediately contacted the guy right after the swap meet, he probably had the stuff at his house. But I let it sit in the building out here for a couple years and opened it up, and there was a lot of stuff missing. So at any rate, I ended up getting this kit for like $200, which at the time was about a $550 kit. And I've spent way over $250 to buy the parts that were missing. The retracts alone cost me more than that. So at any rate, we're almost done with it. I didn't really get a good deal at the swap meet 2 years ago, but I probably would have if I'd have called the guy and said, hey, the retracts are missing. But at any rate, that's coming up next. We'll do a flight review on it. Not really doing a build review on it because all the stuff that was missing, it's not really a KMP kit anymore. It was a KMP fuselage and wing, and the rest of it's coming from somewhere else. So I also needed a muffler, and I'd ordered a muffler, and it was the wrong one. I actually had ordered another muffler. It came in, and it's the wrong one. So the other one that I actually need is the one that's out of stock. So I don't know if it'll be done this weekend or not for the big Balsa Buster camp out. So speaking of that, it's the Balsa Buster camp out. This is not the big Balsa Bust. That's our annual fly-in. This is a camp out fly-in that is a club fly-in that we invite public, other clubs and everything to come out, camp out with us, do some night flying, have a lot of fun. So it starts Friday night, and we'll fly all day Saturday and also camp out Saturday night and be flying some on Sunday, but most of the day Sunday we'll be wrapping up. But so at any rate, that is this weekend, June the 20th. I think that's the 20th. It's on Friday night. So anyway, it's June the 20th and 21st of 2013. So you guys come on out. If you want to come out and see some airplanes fly, come on out. Saturday probably be the best way to see airplanes fly. Friday it would probably be in the afternoon before anybody shows up out to the field to get mowed and get everything ready. But we'll be doing night flying on Friday night and Saturday night. We may actually also take up the big screen, set it up, maybe watch Red Tails or some wonderful airplane movie. So then guys, please rate, subscribe. I need a lot of subscribers and a lot of thumbs up. A lot of the sponsors are saying, hey, your channel just doesn't get enough views. So the only way to solve that is to get subscribers and views. So if you guys would help me out, that would be greatly appreciated. And we'll see you next time on Whirlybird Video.